Welcome to the fifth episode of Faith, Valor, and Growth. My name is Dominic Licata. I'm the host today, and I'm sitting here with my beautiful and lovely wife, Chanel Licata. Hi, Chanel.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
You're happy to be here today?
Yes, very excited.
I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that I get to introduce everybody to Chanel. She's so important to me. She really runs everything on the back end in our life. We do live a small community. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I talk about you all the time. Nothing bad, but I
Well,
talk about you all the time.
As you know, I am from the greater Detroit area. Lived in LA, lived in Arizona, back here, kind of like traveling and moving around. Yeah, I just like to do fun things and DIY projects, and I like to keep busy all the time and help people, and especially veterans like you.
Yeah,
I
I
love
was
your
helpless. I
husband.
know. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, so I wanted to bring Chanel onto the show today. I think understanding what goes on behind the scenes with us and what we try to put together and the programs that we're trying to put in place, a lot of it is very new to us, right? That's why this is season one, but we feel like we've got all of the resources to do what we're trying to do. Tell me a little bit about your faith.
So I am a first generation American, which I think is pretty cool. My parents were born in Baghdad, Iraq, and they moved here in the 70s and, worked their butts off to become citizens and do everything to fit into America. And we're actually Catholic. So in Iraq, that wasn't super favored over there. So we definitely take our faith very strong. We love our churches. We have Chaldean churches around the area.
Yeah.
We have some around
There's
the
a
country.
huge
but
Chaldean community here.
yeah, mostly in Detroit and San Diego and a little bit in Scottsdale. But
Yeah, and we were in all of those places all the time. So what's the difference? Like, why being a Chaldean American and wanting to help the veteran community? Like, how does that work for you?
well, I never really knew any veterans growing up. We kind of kept a close community. And of course, I ventured out because I'm crazy and I met a crazy Marine and married him. So I think it's really cool. My family thinks it's really cool. They like to ask you lots of veteran related questions. But yeah,
Your family is everything that I ever wanted in a family. Once I had it, I didn't know what I had because it's crazy. I mean, your family,
I only have about 75 first cousins, 20 aunts and uncles.
that's not an exaggeration. I mean, when you have 8 family members all having at least 5 kids, that gets you to at least 40 on one side,
Yep.
minimum.
We had a great wedding, though. We'll have
Yep.
to post some videos on.
Right. So
Yeah.
that actually brings that starts to talk about like your work career. What do you do for work today?
So I actually own a mortgage branch. I've been doing mortgages since I met you at United Wholesale
In that
Mortgage
day,
in
that day when I figured out real
2015.
quick that you had no clue what you're doing. Love it.
Actually, it was the day that I told you that fun fact, went to Drake's house for a Super Bowl party when I lived in LA, and you weren't impressed by it, but I thought it was
Even
very
more
cool.
so today, right?
I thought it was very cool. I have some pictures with him in the background. I was there for probably 20 minutes and left, but it was very cool to go. I was an account executive, basically just helping brokers, and now I am that person doing loans. So it's very rewarding. Obviously, helping veterans is the best. Coming to the table with $0 is amazing and huge. And I don't think enough veterans know and understand, and you can attest since you came out, probably didn't know for a little while.
I mean, I literally thought like I was going to, I didn't even know, I had no clue what it meant. I thought that I was just going to get money from the VA to buy a home.
Yeah.
That was it.
Well, it's much more than that. And you can use it to buy a multifamily, 4-unit, rent out 3. You can do a construction loan.
Yeah. I think the multi-unit, when we really talk about where the benefit lies, like home ownership is great. Getting somebody into a house is awesome. Like that's the American dream, right? But I feel like there's a lot of people in the veteran community that are looking for some type of avenue, some type of vehicle in order for them to create some wealth, right? Like how do we get them to a point where you've literally just changed their life and they can focus on the positive things and bringing people into a positive world, starting with our faith in Christ. But before we get rolling any further, I know that we just talked about this. I was kind of shocked. I was like, did you want to say a prayer? And you told me.
My favorite one, for some reason, I just think it pertains to so much in life and kids and school and strangers. It applies to everyone. So it's the serenity prayer. I know it's on a lot of jewelry and a lot of signs everywhere, but it's God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I think that's huge because I always want to change things. So I have to take a step back and realize sometimes I can't change everything. So
So, well, that's awesome. If I wanted to start trying to figure out where I stand from a standpoint of like, how do I create wealth? Where am I at from an eligibility standpoint? How would I start this process?
So in general, the mortgage process, the most important thing is qualifying. With a VA loan, it's great because you can use VA disability, which that's a whole separate thing, but you don't even have to technically have a job to qualify.
So what happens when VA disability comes up? Like, do you ask that question, or do I need documentation for it if I have it?
Yeah, so it's an award letter, which basically just shows what percentage you're at. The VA rates from 10 to 100%. And what I feel like is unique about me is I like to say that I care about everybody, and especially veterans. I'm sure everyone says that, but I will help with credit repair if the client doesn't have high enough credit, which I mean, with a VA loan, you can go pretty low, so that's nice. We help file a disability, get that started. I even work closely with a law firm who will help you appeal if your claim gets denied. So I don't just help with the loan process and say bye-bye. I help beginning
Right.
through it, and even a year after, 2 years after, people call me or email me. So I just like to
all the
be
time. Arizona, California, Texas, El Paso. I remember that couple.
yes,
Met them in
yeah,
California this last summer. So
yeah.
I know that they're ready to talk to you.
Yeah.
From just the conversation that we had back then.
They want to do a construction loan, which is great for VA because you can build with no money during the build process, and you move in and start your 30-year loan. So
Yep.
it's such a nice feeling to move into a house that you built, it's brand new, no one else has been there, and you brought nothing to
What
the
about
table.
building a 4-unit? Can I build a 4-unit?
Well, there are some stipulations on that. I mean, it technically is allowed, but we're working with some investors to allow it because it is.
Right. I think with our program,
fine.
based on what we're trying to do and the contacts and resources that we have in the financial world, we will find somebody here soon, and it
Yeah.
will let everybody know because it'll be ready for you to create some wealth. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to do. We want people to change people's lives, not only from a spiritual aspect, but once you believe in Christ, I believe that you can change it from a financial aspect because He wants anything that you desire.
Mm-hmm.
He really wants you to have that.
Yeah, and getting some income for doing almost nothing.
I mean, you did a lot up front.
I'm saying
Prepaid.
buying a multi-family. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you're right. You're right. You serve the country. I forget about that part. Yeah, no, you can buy a 4-unit that's already built currently.
Yeah.
Move into one, live in it like your normal home, and rent out the other 3, and it will pay for the entire mortgage. And
sometimes give you more money.
yeah,
Sometimes,
yeah.
We actually say that often. So now you've got a couple different streams of income. We've got other ways to, help connect you if you don't know where to start. I know a lot of people on the Heroes Media Group all try to provide the same type of support. That's why we're all here together. That's why Adam has brought us all here together. But this is what we're doing.
Yeah. So, I mean, to all the listeners, of course, you can always go to faithvalorgrowth.com and submit a form, and we can kind of get started. Every client's different. So it's just that initial contact, like, hey, here's my situation. Like, let me know what you think. And I
Right.
just tailor it to them.
So you ask questions like, are you okay?
And then I scream over to you, hey, Dom, I have a question.
Oh, man, I got a lot on my plate, huh? It's okay. It's all the help and support that we can get in. We're a team. I mean, we all work together. We all support each other, and we all try to find ways to make each other better. So
Mhm. Yeah.
one day at a time.
Yeah. And we have some rental properties that we own in Arizona and Michigan.
Yeah.
And the most exciting thing is our fix and flip that we are almost done with.
Yeah.
We've been renovating it for about 6 months.
Feels a lot longer.
It was built in 1890, so we've had a lot of issues arise, but we have powered through them.
Yep.
And we're almost to the finish line. So
Right.
it's interesting being on the other side as far as the borrower, I guess you would say,
hmm
the one doing the work instead of giving the money. So it's been fun. It's been a learning experience, and you know me, I'm always doing different things.
Yeah, I would say, what's your next like when we talk about projects, right? The types of projects that people do. We have a major blowout party for the kids for some type of summer bash at whoever's birthday it is, and that's the big party. So someone gets selected that year, and this year it was Athena's. Which, if you haven't seen the pictures, I'm sure we'll post them. We should put them on the website or
Yeah.
something. The shirts that we were wearing were just ridiculously crazy with their head on it, and they were
Hawaiian
they were
shirts
pretty awesome.
with her
Right?
face on it. It was great.
They were the hit. She built this candy board, like 2 days before. Like, I don't know where you got that idea. Like,
Frills
why
and
don't you
Frills
explain? I
Instagram.
don't mean this is like a whole corner 8-foot board with like twisty turning knobs to get candy out.
It's a candy wall.
A wall,
I like to DIY things. Currently painting the basement of our home
right?
because it was too dark. If I can do it, I'm gonna do it. And if I can watch a video, I'm gonna watch a video. So yeah, we have our candy board. We can put some pictures up of it. It was a hit. Put M&Ms in it. You turn the little knob, and they just fall out in a little cup.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
I
getting
like
to
doing, especially relating to homes. It's kind of
yeah,
exciting.
the homes is fun. Like,
Increasing the value of your home. You don't realize how easy you just go to Home Depot and it's not as hard as it looks. It really isn't. You just have to make a few
you're,
trips to Home
I
Depot.
I will say that you are special when it comes to those things. I mean, you like to put furniture together, and lately you haven't had to call me and ask me to fix anything halfway through it.
To restart sometimes, but it works out.
Be awesome. So let me ask you this: we've been focused on trying to tell people how to get into the program to create wealth in order to do these types of investments with a 4-unit property,
Mhm.
right? And I'm curious, if I wanted to work with you, how do we do that? How do I reach out to you? What do you need from me?
So the most important thing is qualifying as far as getting a mortgage.
Like a starting point?
Yeah. So we can always work on credit, the other factors, but having the actual income to qualify, you can't just, most people can't just go get a new job or get a 50% pay raise if they need it. So the most important thing is always starting with the qualification,
Right.
W-2 job, self-employed, VA
Well,
disability.
we might be able to find people jobs or opportunities.
Oh, yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, we've done that for multiple people. So that is definitely the place to start. And of course, buying a multifamily, such as a 2, 3, or 4 unit, is a great way to make some extra income.
Why? Oh, why? How's that work? I mean, other than obviously you're getting rentals, but you've managed a lot of properties at this point. I've watched you do it, uh, and I know it's been tough at times, right?
Yes.
Some people don't like to do that side of it. Some people do, right? Some people like to do the repair. I don't think you like to do either side of it, honestly.
I think I would like to do tile if I YouTube it and learn it enough.
Yeah,
But I think that it would be kind of cool to live, like let's say you were to buy a 4 unit and you would live there, right?
Mhm.
So the other tenants would know that you own it. They would be more respectful, I feel like, of the
I
property.
hope so.
So it's great. Like especially using a VA loan with 0 down, you could buy a 4 unit
Yeah.
and rent the other 3 units out.
Have you ever done like the rent analysis on those and seeing like how much money they can make off those three, and then it more than pays for what they're paying from their
Yeah, it actually always does on a 4 unit.
right?
2 unit, maybe not. It will at least pay for more than
Maybe
half of your
50%.
mortgage, but it's great. And if let's say you are currently in the military on active duty and you get reassigned or whatever happens, you rent out both units and you move and you buy another 2 unit or a single family or a 4 unit, whatever
You're
works
looking
for that
right? Yeah,
situation.
every situation's different, and it just has to make sense.
Hmm.
So, how do I start? I want to get my stuff over to you.
So we actually set up you on your great website and your great podcast on
I get a lot of help for that stuff, guys.
faithvalorgrowth.com.
Yeah,
There is a form that you can fill out, and we help everything from credit repair to helping file for VA disability if you have never filed as a veteran, which I believe every veteran deserves. The less veterans use it, the less money the government allocates towards it. So it's best for everyone to use it.
yeah.
And of course, as you know, if you get 10% or more, there's a VA funding fee that gets waived, which is anywhere from 2.2 to 3 point something. Anyway, it could be thousands of dollars. So as far as applying for disability, it could be a little tedious on the website, but I have helped lots of veterans do that. So
Just that initial, like, just to get it submitted from a date standpoint, right?
mhm, yeah.
What's the significance in that? I just learned this too. So,
So if let's say you apply today for VA disability and then you apply for a mortgage tomorrow and you close on the mortgage before they even get to the rating, which takes a while sometimes, they will actually credit back the funding fee or take it off of the loan
Mhm.
once your whole rating gets completed.
I actually think if they pay cash for it, they can get cash back.
Yeah, it usually gets financed in.
But yeah, it's almost always financed in, which then they just reduce the principal balance.
Yeah. My goal with most veterans is coming to the table with as little money as possible. When we bought our first condo, we came to the table with $0. Actually, I think
We got our money back.
we
for
got our
appraisal.
deposit back. So that was great. And that's like the best case scenario.
You know,
And
we've nailed it many times using the VA home loan, whether it's our primary that we live in here in Clarkston, Michigan, knowing that we could manipulate in and out of a market most people couldn't. There's
right.
just so many opportunities in it, and knowing where those opportunities lie, we got to just get a starting point, a
Hmm.
base point, a foundational spot, so that the whole program can be built for you,
Yeah.
right? To get you on that path. It's what
That's
we do.
it's really just reaching out that first, hey, I need help. That's it. Yeah. You want to come over for a coffee? I'm not a greedy person. I don't make any money by helping someone file for disability. So that's not part of my job. It's just I do it to help other people. And I also being Chaldean, we didn't really know there's not like we didn't really like the military to us wasn't like something that was instilled.
Right.
It's
I mean, your grandfather served,
well
right?
in the Iraqi military, but as an American, I bet there's probably not very many Chaldeans that were in the military. So to have met a veteran, married a veteran, it's different for us. So it's just nice to be able to help veterans in general, and especially with housing and
Yeah,
all that stuff. So,
I agree.
and the best thing is that you can, if you receive VA disability, you can buy a home without even having a full time job. I have plenty of clients who receive 100% disability and they qualify with just that on buying the house. So,
So I keep getting urged to get to that level by somebody repeatedly. So and I'm working through that process. So I feel like we could share that so they can see what
yeah,
I'm
we
doing.
work well with an attorney who can do claims nationwide. They're a great law firm and they do disability, only disability, VA, and some Social Security.
Yeah.
Once you start the process to receive the disability and it gets denied, which most of the time it does, unfortunately, that's why these lawyers have jobs. They will help you appeal. They basically appeal the process, and it could take months, but you would get back pay from the day that you filed.
Okay.
So in your case, let's say you got denied in April and they're working on it for a year and then it gets approved at that point, they'll back pay it 12 months
Right.
from the day you applied. So
Right.
this law firm is
I think they
very
said what
fair.
they said was that they do it right in line with what the VA allows us, the 20% only on the look back, nothing moving forward.
Yes. So the law firm, as far as what they take, is a cut of the back pay. I've heard of other law firms that take a portion of the monthly pay for
Right.
years,
Right.
which is
Like
crazy
12
to
months,
me. Yeah.
usually 12 months or whatever it is.
This law firm does not do that. They just take the back pay. If they do it in a month and they get less, but usually it takes longer. So
Yeah.
we'll have
I,
them. You'll have to
I
have
have,
them on here one day.
they'll definitely be here at some point. So, all right. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for coming. We really appreciate having you here.
Anytime.
Yep. And put everything in God's hands. And I think that this is exactly what we're supposed to be doing. So I look forward to working with everybody.
Yep. Make sure you go to faithvalorgrowth.com and fill out a form to get started, and we'll help you with whatever questions you have. And if we can't help you, we'll find someone to help you.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Bye bye.